Hello and welcome to Shadowrun Dragonfall, the Director's Cut. I said last time on my last stream that I wanted to do some stuff relating to I wanted to do some more sort of cyberpunk stuff, and figured why not start out with Shadowrun. Shadowrun has probably some of the best world building and some of the best just lore and mythos and character potential, and just some of the craziest shit happens. And I really enjoy Shadowrun, and figured, well, completely mocapped Keanu Reeves as a street samurai is coming out in about September, so may as well prepare myself for Cyberpunk 2077 by playing science fiction and cyberpunk games. So, let's dive into the flux state of Berlin. The year is 2054. The promise of opportunity and anonymity draws you to the free city of Berlin, the flux state, a grand experiment in social order. Corporations tread carefully here. Even the great dragon Lofweir has only so much sway in the constantly evolving power structure of Berlin. The perfect place for a savvy Shadowrunner to disappear and begin anew. If only it were that simple. I'm gonna go with normal because I don't want to breeze through it. But if I start to fail a bunch, I may set it back to easy, because I am by no means a tactical commander. I play a lot of strategy games, but I make some dumb decisions sometimes. Alright. I'm gonna go with human just because I like having extra karma. I like being a decker. This kind of steel color. Right, continue to stats. Karma represents the experience characters earn while running in the shadows and achieving goals. Karma is used in Okay. Works. Power, charisma. Etiquette. Let's combat. I like to smooth talk my way out of things, so I'm gonna... Shadowrunner etiquette. And then for ranged combat, one pistol and I'm gonna go with rifle. Oh, and I have one more point I can spend. Biotech. Confirm. And I'm gonna go with corporate etiquette. Whisper. Harfield Manor Run. Life was good. Easy jobs, regular pay, a reliable crew. But things went south and you had to drop off the grid. Pull a bullet in the past and starts fresh somewhere new. The promise of opportunity and anonymity draws you to the free city of Berlin, the Flux State, a grand experiment in social order. Corporations tread carefully here. Even the great dragon Lofweir only has so much sway in the constantly evolving power structure of Berlin. The perfect place for a savvy Shadowrunner to disappear and begin anew. And, as luck would have it, home to your old partner in crime, Monica Schaefer. It's your third run with Monica and her team, an old castle holdfast, 1 hour east of Berlin, perched on a hill overlooking the countryside. Job is a standard smash and grab. Crack the vault, grab the data, get out in one piece. A mediocre payday, but work is work. As the team gathers for Monica's pre-run briefing, you pause to take in your surroundings. The estate grounds are silent, save for the faint whistling of the wind. Your team gathers near a side entrance to the old castle holdfast, cloaked in darkness. The night is peaceful. You know it won't last. You know it for what it is, a pleasant illusion that will shatter at the sound of the first gunshot. Listen up, folks. Monica Schaefer. You ran with her back in the day. Now she's your team leader. Your decking skills may be sharp, but hers are Nova hot. Running with Monica is like taking a masterclass in IC breaking. We're on a tight timetable. I want to enter the estate, find the basement, open the data vault, extract the files, and bolt. 10 minutes, top to bottom. Dietrich. Trying to get home in time for warm talk, love? Dietrich, shaman, the old man of the team. He smiles at her, his facial tattoos writhing in the moonlight. Monica's eyes twinkle with mischief. Maybe. How many times have I told you? You can't trust anything that comes out of a dragon's mouth. That tread trash will rot your brain. She grins. It's educational. Besides, this should be a milk run. Security is supposed to be light. Few automatic weapons, no armor. With a little luck, they'll never know where you're here. I'll watch your back all the same. Monica's smile returns, more wistful this time. Moonlight catches her face at a strange angle. Just like old times, eh, Whisper? Milk run or not, we should be careful. Glory, razor-clawed street samurai. Her voice is cold and neutral, her expression placid. They may only be private security, but their bullets don't know that. I can patch you up if I have to, but I'd rather not have to. You people need to relax. We're professionals, remember? Monica raises her arm and speaks into her wrist-mounted comlink. Darkened face shimmers on the view screen. Iger, are you in position? The comlink crackles, and the response comes back low and soft. Softer than you expect from a troll. Affirmative. The alarm line's been cut, and I have a clear line of fire on the estate service entrance. When you exit the building, the path will be clear. Excellent. Thank you, Iger. Just doing my job. Iger out. Comlink goes dark. Monica winks at you to drop your arm. See? We're professionals. Alright, people, enough chatter. Our client wants the data from the vault, so we get him the data from the vault. Quick, quiet, and quick. You said quick twice. She grins. Vermin Talk is on tonight. Glory raises an eyebrow slightly. I told you, it's educational. Get your stuff and we'll head in. Your gear and some weapons line the back of the van. Grab a weapon. Run pistol. Fischetti Security 500. Rest in a kit. Equipment. Pistol. Cheap, common pistol, mass-produced to keep the cost minimal. Sony CTY 360. First deck made for Shadowrunners. Simple, street-ready, and nearly indestructible. As well as a... this is basically an extra life. Leave the van. Hacker voice. We are in. Okay. Huh. Private museum. The owner of this estate must have money to burn. Variety of remarkably well-preserved Slavic artifacts. Complete skeleton of a theropod dinosaur. Appears to be genuine. The vase in this case looks both very old and very valuable. A fine scrollwork of lapis and gold leaf decorates its exterior. The interior shimmers with the organic beauty of abalone shell. Your fixer could probably move this thing in a heartbeat. You can't help but notice that the glass encasing it looks awfully flimsy. Walk away. Maybe I'll come back for you later. I have a feeling it's alarmed. Cask in this display case is decorated with inlaid panels of ivory scrimshaw. Dang. They're not cheap. I'm waiting for private security to show up. This place is bougie as fuck. been a... Oh, hello. Now in turn-based combat. Each character on the action team has action points. Close. Security alert response plan. Quebec 6. Matrix operations locked. HTR team responding. Decking 2. Override Matrix operations. Door lock. Matrix operations unlocked. That's a security node. So because I'm a hacker, I can... So that's the door down here. Alright. Hello. Dietrich. Just giving Monica some extra action points. Right. Burst fire. Dang it. Like most video game shotguns. More accurate when they get closer. Critical kill. Figured I wouldn't hit. I can't hit him. Should start making a run for the door. No damage. Alright. Burst fire it is. Hey, 10 damage. Perfect. Matrix operations. So, keep the team alive. Characters. Monica. decking of 6. So, yeah, she's... As much as I want to be a hero... Yep. She has the better equipment. So, this is the Matrix. An overarching computer system that connects much of reality and humanity. This is intruder countermeasures, also known as ICE. These are white ice. They're not that bad, they just cause you to become disconnected. And Deckers basically become tech mages. So I have 1 attack, 2 attack, ambush. Crying out loud. Erosion. They'll take damage every turn. Yeah, there we go. Now, I can easily access the data store. Pay data, antiquities delivery schedule. Perfect. So now I can just run all the way back here. This is a really simple Matrix run. They get far more complex in the future, becoming full-on dungeons. I also didn't see any, I didn't see any security nodes or anything, so I don't think I could have disabled any alarms if I had them. Clump up, they're gonna use grenades. I switched to Monica's hand razors. Yeah, no, don't have the ability to go for it. But nope, never mind. Curse you, flashbangs, for actually, you know, being... For crying out loud. I'm trying to not have people too close to each other, and I'm trying to not have them be easy to hit. Who's easiest to hit? This dumbass in the middle of the open. What? You missed? How could you miss? He was 3 meters in front of you. Oh my gods. Ooh. Some bones. Huh. Yeah. But now it gives them something else to shoot at. Dietrich. Aw. You down? Mm. Hey, 50%, why not roll the dice? Dang it. Dietrich, why are you sitting... Did I move Dietrich by accident? I think I moved Dietrich by accident. Because I'm so low level, I absolutely suck compared to the rest of my team. So... forgot about that. If you don't have any action points to give to a summoned spirit, you taste my hand razors. Kidding me? because I'm so low level and everyone else is much higher, I am the weakest link. Are you kidding me? Thank you. But if I want to do anything, I have to get within basically make-out distance of them. So, since I didn't see any security nodes regarding alarms, damn it. Walk away. You will be mind-based, it's just a matter of time. Well, they already know we're here, so I mean... we already have the pay data, so... So far, so good. If your skirmish with security didn't set off any alarms, you didn't hear them. Monica leads the rest of the team downward into the basement of the Harfield Manor. Your payday is waiting. The data vault lies ahead. Oh, right. We acquired secondary pay data that the fixer has to send through. Dietrich eyes the door, then turns to Monica. That's a big freaking Voltliebchen. Bigger than on the schematic. Schematic didn't have a date. Our client may have old intel. Still, our instructions were clear. The data we're looking for should be just on the other side of this door. Monica combs a hand through her hair, parting it to reveal the black plastic sheath of her data jack. Quick jaunt into the matrix, a little digital hand waving, and I'll have this thing wide open. Be right back. Burst of static crackles through the tiny speaker on Monica's comlink. Iger, still in position outside the estate. Oh, Monica, who's in charge while you're jacked in? Monica rolls her eyes. Dietrich fixes his stare intently on the vault door. Lori looks cold and distant, just as she always does. We've been through this before, Iger. You're not in the KSK anymore, and that chain of command nonsense doesn't fly in the shadows. We don't need rules and regulations to guide us, the same principles that apply to the Flux State. Please, spare me the lecture. Your politics have nothing to do with this. Best get used to it, Iger love. She sighs. Look, it's a simple question. Years of experience tells me that it needs an answer. Why don't I take a crack at the door instead? Let me show you what I can do. Monica smiles but shakes her head no. No offense, Whisper, but this is my team. And at least for now, I handle the good work. Then you need a second in command. Come on, Monica. Please put someone in charge. And let's get on with the mission. Monica stares at the screen on her wrist for a moment, clearly irritated. Then that twinkle appears in her eye again. She smiles at you as she speaks into her comlink. Very well, we'll do this one Iger's way. While I'm jacked in, Whisper is in charge. Pause, then Iger's voice crackles out of the comlink again. Whisper? Did I hear you right? You're putting the rookie in command? Thought you were a pro, Iger. Questioning orders in front of the team isn't exactly a pro move, is it? This is ridiculous. Clear the comm, rookie. Now. Monica nods at you. The smile has disappeared from her face. Listen, Monica, I know that this is a joke to you, but I'm telling you, Iger. Monica's tone is all business. Evidently, she has heard enough. The decision's made. You have your answer. Acknowledged. Without another word, Iger's image flickers and fades from Monica's communicator. Sorry about that. Iger can be inflexible, the legacy of a long military career. But she knows what she's doing, and she means well. No sweat. I'll buy her a beer and talk it out after the run. Good woman. Iger's skills and experience are invaluable to this team. It would be good to have her on your side. Okay, enough chatter. Let's get this done. Monica turns towards the door, fingers poised on the controls of her cyberdeck, then glances back to you with a grin. See you on the other side. Then she punches it, projecting her consciousness into cyberspace, her fingers harmonizing in the smooth, rhythmic staccato that only an expert decker can achieve. Without warning, Monica's back arches violently and her head jerks back, silencing her terrible screams. Muscle spasms ripple across her face, and her jaw snaps shut, sending a mist of blood spraying from between her teeth. You look down and see a nub of pink flesh hit the floor, the tip of her tongue. The room explodes into action. Glory leaps towards Monica, her hand outstretched to yank the cord from her data jack. Dietrich surges forward to wrap the team's fallen decker in a bear hug, holding her against the convulsions that rack her body. With Monica's unearthly screams still ringing sharply in your head, you are only dimly aware of the door slamming shut behind you. Help Glory pull the plug on Monica's data jack. While Glory holds Monica's head steady, you snatch the cord that connects Monica's data jack to her cyberdeck. Without a moment's hesitation, you give a solid yank when the cord comes free. A wisp of oily blue smoke traces its way from her data jack to the ceiling. Ooh. A commingled sense of charred meat and ozone fill the air. You've seen the effects of biofeedback before, but nothing like this. Suddenly, Monica's eyes flutter open. Muscle tremors continue to distort her face, and blood oozes between her lips. You see the muscles in her jaw tensing and the look of concentration in her eyes. She's struggling to speak. Talk to me, Monica. What are you trying to say? Slowly, painfully, Monica wrestles her jaw open. The blood welled up in her mouth comes pouring out in a slick, covering her chest. She expels a thick, guttural sound that might be a word. Satisfied, she closes her eyes and forces her mouth to make the shape she needs. Fear. With an effort, Monica opens her eyes again and meets yours. You see pain and fear in her gaze. It's something else. Hope. Showing. Sudden spasm jerks Monica's head back again. She grunts, then her chin drops to her chest and her head lolls to one side. Her eyes fix on an object in the next room, computer terminal. The soft light of a cursor blinks on its recessed screen. Slowly, she attempts to speak again. The only sound that emerges is a long, strangled croak. A look of resignation washes over Monica's face, and she stops fighting. Her gore-slick jaw goes slack, and she dies. We've got hostiles. This clearly isn't a data vault. We need to get out of here fast. You're telling me. Fine. Have some hand razor. MCPOS Building maintenance software version 1.01, command line interface, internal memory, checksum invalid. Whisper, 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 whisper. Dietrich scans the room nervously. They've sealed the door behind us. We've got to find another way out of here. What are you doing? Decking 1. I think Monica may have inserted a bug into the system before she died. What's it for? Something tells me I'm going to have more company soon. I don't know yet. Watch my back while I figure this out. Text continues to scroll down the terminal screen. Problem has been detected with the core component of MCPOS. Restore MCPOS to factory default settings. Yes, no. Warning, restore process will take several minutes to execute. Connected doors and peripherals will be disarmed when complete. Yes, please. Click. Processing request. 0% complete. As you watch, the number on the screen slowly begins to climb. This is going to take a while. Glance down at a second screen to see the facility is on high alert. In place of a simple data vault, it seems to have stumbled upon some kind of massive underground complex. A map of the whole vast grounds indicates that security forces are en route from multiple angles. The door is currently being rebooted by the system restore process, flashing a dull red. If you're reading this display correctly, the only exit from this room is the hold-fast old service entrance on the western side of the building. At that moment, Iger's image winks onto your comlink with a crackling sound. The image is grainy, flickering in and out. What's going on down there, rookie? Talk to me. Monica's down, Iger. The vault was the setup. What? No time to explain. We'll be exiting via an old service entrance to the west of the main grounds. I need you to keep that exit clear. Iger's silence is thick, but when she finally responds, her tone's professional. Roger that. She cuts out with another word. Glory turns to you, her movements smooth and robotic. Her voice comes out in a frosty monotone. What's the play, Whisper? Monica found a way to open the doors, but it's going to take some time. Dietrich's pained expression lightens a bit. Of course she did. Thanks to her, we may get out of here alive. Now let's find some cover and wait for the door locks to disarm. Glances over to his fallen friend. Thank you, Liebchen. Also, healing in Shadowrun does not work like it works in so many other things. Restoring only heals the most recent wound. Enemies incoming. We have drones. Target acquired. Wind elemental. Dang it. Hey! That was a good shot. Yes. Incoming damage -3. No. Alright. Didn't escape this time. Zap. And... Okay! Forgot about this guy. The figure loping towards you is big, even for an orc. The majority of his body is sheathed in a suit of heavy, overlapping plates. What you can see of his face looks raw and slick, like old scar tissue stretched tight over his skull. He wears an expression of supreme confidence. Security captain. Alright, friends, playtime's over. All you Shadowrunners are the same. Skulking, sneaking. Steal a vase or two from the museum, no harm. Maybe I'd let you scamper away into the night. But now it's too late for that sort of generosity. Visitors aren't welcome down here. Gaping off, the minigun jerks upward, an impatient gesture loaded with malice. Drop your weapons and surrender. That's military-grade weapon armor he's wearing, Whisper. Hardened against small arms fire. We'll have a tough time getting through it. I'm less concerned about the armor than I am about the minigun. Those things can tear a man in half. You have 3 seconds before I open the hose. Step out here and surrender, and I promise I'll make this easy. Something tells me you're gonna kill us either way. True, I can't deny it. But wouldn't it be easier if you didn't fight back? York shrugs, and you can hear the distinct whir of his Vindicator's motor spinning up to speed. The barrels begin to blur as he wheels the weapon to face you. Yeet. I'm gonna roll the dice. Awesome. Myself. Kobe. Damn it. Yeet. Awesome. Oh, come on. I didn't like you. Shit out of him. I am playing with fire here. This is actually the longest I have ever controlled a spirit. Played this game before, but I don't remember everything about it. Door unlocks with a loud click. Your escape route is clear. You don't get action points. The orc suddenly pauses, inclining his head to one side and covering his ear with a finger. His vindicator starts to spin down. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. He grunts, briefly tapping his the finger against his ear. Squads 3 and 5 report to main entrance. Do not let the intruders escape. Without another word, he slings his weapon over an armored shoulder and turns to leave the room. I thought he'd never leave. Scratch the shit out of you. Go up here. Past this guy. Then banish the spirit. Iger rises from her corpse-strewn perch at your approach. From the look on her face, it's obvious she's already sized up the situation. I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. We can talk about this later. For now, we need to bug out. Tell me something I don't know. Iger slaps the side of the van. Pile in, people, and whisper. When we get back to the Quez Bazaar, we're gonna have a little talk. Quez Bazaar. Kreisberg, home to nearly 500,000 people, and, until very recently, Monica Schaefer. Once a melting pot of cultural diversity, it's now a chaotic mess of wealth and poverty, crime and commerce, anarchy and control. It is also home to your own little slice of Berlin, a neighborhood that the locals call the Quez Bazaar, a safe port in the eye of a storm. The ride back to the Quez Bazaar is quiet. No one is in a talking mood as the van veers past potholes and garbage piles. The glare of streetlights and neon signs play across your window, painting the world in a kaleidoscope of garish colors. Soon the van rounds a corner and skids to a halt in a narrow, crumbling alley. This is as far as Berlin's chaotic streets will take you. Sorry. Your team wordlessly debarks the vehicle and climbs down into a disused section of the U-Bahn tunnel system. A well-kept secret, providing your team safe passage into the Quez Bazaar. Your safe house waits on the other side. I apologize if I mispronounce any German words. I'm not a native German speaker, but I do have a My dad is natively Danish, so I do have some experience with some of the idiosyncrasies of the speaking. You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Paul Ansel. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amsel, the team's fixer and landlord, part dealmaker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. Grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face goes ashen. Has gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? Decking 2. Something in the vault security system cooked her brain. It was too quick to be black ice. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Monica died of biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrusts a gloved finger into your chest. And this idiot stood by and let it happen. Ignore it. I'm gonna ignore it. Let it happen? She jacked in, she screamed, and she seized. By the time we saw she was in trouble, it was always too late. Yeah, because you never bothered learning what to look for. Muscle contractions and microtremors are good indicators of a Decker in distress. I'm assuming you didn't have anyone keeping an eye out for those? No, if you had, my friend would be lying dead in a basement. Oh, shove off, Iger. We were all on the lookout for physical security, Whisper included. Throwing her under the bus isn't going to help anything. This has gone from a weird German accent to, like, a weird sort of Scottish accent. You know what, I'm gonna keep the Scottish accent. Like, under a bus is exactly where she belongs. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich, you know that. But you don't have my training. None of you have. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all of this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Iger. Ansel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds pass between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? It doesn't matter what I choose. Iger, you don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your... That is enough! And Sol's voice comes out in a roar, and his fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Iger, you and Whisper can have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd let us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there. Something we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume we're all still in danger. Ansel pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we're dealing with. Let us review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Monica lived long enough to say a name. Verschering. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Fire Wing. This is... unexpected. You'll have to forgive me, this brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The Fire Wing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. said Glory. You were far too young to remember her, of course. But for Germans of my generation, the name Furschwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Furschwinger was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There's a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation, and no end in sight. It was a horror that you cannot begin to imagine or understand. What stopped her? Can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Fire Wing was brought down by a man named Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course. But it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the SOX. This event was called the Dragonfall. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero. Her own Siegfried, modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was as important as an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised I've never heard of it. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Hiker. Not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for the bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Fire Wing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Furschwinger is a bit of historical trivia and nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Ansel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Furschwinger has been dead and gone for 42 years. There's one thing I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. Visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, and slowly releases it. I will look into this, and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details of this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features I could look into? He was an older guy, for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. And he had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like a replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? The estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. Amsel nods. Much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. That facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. All in secret. The owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by our escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? And that's all we've got. It's not much. Angel nods. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, a long-forgotten world event. Wait, we're still missing something. Who paid for this run? I do not know his exact identity. I did not set up the run. Monica did. I warned her. I told her not to take the job. But she assured me it would be a cakewalk. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for a cause, anything for the Flux State. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. That was all it took. Sounds like Green Winters is our best lead, then. Yes, most definitely. It's clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably gonna grab it. We need to chase him down before that happens. How do we find this guy? There's a man in the Cruz Bazaar, a Turk named Altug Burz. Oh boy, that's a name. Altug Burakazi. He owns a little soy-calf shop just down the way called Cafe Ceviche. Cafe Ceviche. Cafe Ceviche? Cafe Ceviche. I'm just gonna call it Cafe Ceviche, because I can't really... This man is also a purveyor of information. I've done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Ansel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Altuk. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. For good reason, it would seem. I'll talk to Altug and see what he knows about Green Winters. Very well. Tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig into the information that we've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh shit, Dante. Don't worry, boy. We'll look after you. The sight of Monica's dog is Emsel's eyes well up. He inhales but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop. Kept... That's when I realized something bad had happened. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you can see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Scratch him behind the ears. Dante leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your leg. Guess the dog is going with you, Whisper. He takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished with Altuk, Manfreden. With a little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters, and we can get to the bottom of this. Stares to the floor. And now, I think we should all take a moment. For Monica. Alright. Just taking a look around. Glory? Glory is beautiful in a waifish sort of way. Her features are almost elvish in their delicacy. There's something cold about her that you find slightly unsettling. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Glory is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware from head to toe. She looks to be more composed more of plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon. Glory's cyberware is first generation. All of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was absolutely well before she was born. Whisper? Glory shifts her gaze to you, but her expression is cool and placid as always. Can I help you? have a question for you, Glory, of personal kind. I'm not big on sharing sport, personal reasons. You understand, I'm sure. The edge in her voice tells you she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Sure, I understand, but I still need to talk to you. Ask your questions, but do it quickly. I have things to do. I can't have started running the shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? It was cheap. Gets the job done. End of discussion. I don't think so. I've known a lot of street Sams in my time, but I've never met anyone who didn't voluntarily install cyberware that old. You're right. There's more to it than I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. Can't help but notice you seem guarded, withdrawn. That's my problem, none of your concern. If whatever happened to you has impaired your ability to trust me, then it's my concern. Come on, Glory, talk to me. Trust is earned, and I don't know you yet. Maybe later, when we get to know one another better, we can talk. For now, I'd prefer if you dropped it. That's all I need to know. How you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. You sure? You look like you're a million miles away. I'll be with you when it counts. Right now it doesn't. Any thoughts on what we should do next? Find our missing client, extract some answers. Beyond that, take jobs, get paid. I'll talk to you later. Suit yourself. Save Iger for last. Dietrich. Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there's still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Whisper, welcome. Got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and we've got a fallen comrade to drink to. I don't drink, but I'll join you in saluting your memory. Fair enough. Tomonica takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Whisper. What made you choose to come to Berlin? Why do you want to know? Monica told me you moved here from the Rhine-Ruhr megaplex. It sounds like you've been there for a good many years. Successful years at that. It's a man to wonder why you packed up and moved out here. Run went bad and my team paid the price. Went bad, huh? Like the run we just came back... like the run we just came back from went bad? Worse, I was the only survivor. That's rough, friend. How'd it happen? We were double-crossed. The run went off without a hitch, but instead of paying us, our client decided to set up an ambush. Miserable bastard. Alright, if what you're telling me is true, how do you walk out alive? My team felt like hell, and we took the ambushers down. We all got shot up, and I was the only one who survived. Sorry to hear. Sounds like it was a glorious fight, though. So after all this went down, you decided to bail out of the Ruhrplex and head to Berlin. Am I getting that right? More or less. There wasn't much left for me in the Ruhrplex, and Monica made me a hell of an offer. Ah, yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. What do you want to know? Monica was my friend. I cared about her. Dietrich shrugs. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to get to know her better. There were always some areas of her life that have always been a mystery. And if you could shed any light on them, I'd be appreciative. I can respect that. So, what was the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. We were very close. That's so. Dietrich raises an eyebrow. Huh. Learn something new every day. Well, anyway, good on you both. Dietrich raises his bottle to you in salute. She's a wonderful woman. I hope that your time together was happy. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time and this bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk, and for what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. And yes, I'm going to continue doing a weird sort of Scottish-Irish accent for him, because I cannot do a German accent to save my life. If I try and do a German accent, it comes out... It becomes very offensive very quickly. Whisper. Amsel peers at you apprehensively. His eyes are bloodshot, his expression grim. Did you get the information about Green Winters? No, not yet. Then please, continue working. We need to find that man. Iger? Iger glares at you, and you can still taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? We need to talk about Monica. Now, right now, we don't. Don't push me on this, Whisper. One of these days, we're gonna hash this out. You can talk all you like about the clusterfuck that killed one of my best friends. It won't be today. Fair enough. But before I go, I have something else to say. Spit it out then. Let's hear it. You're wrong about me, Iger. I intend to prove that to you. She stares at you for a moment, then looks away. Best of luck with that, Whisper. Now please, leave me alone. Alright, Iger. This conversation isn't over. It is for now, fearless leader. He turns away. Do us both a favor. Take the hint and go away. Bunch of expensive loot we have yet to move. And probably a bunch of stuff we don't really want to move. Right, now that we're out on the streets, this is where we go to buy things. Benari Metbach. The Romani patriarch is an impressive figure, an enormous man in his late 60s, burly and broad-chested despite his age. His voice is deep and resonant, and his breath is heavy with the stench of pipe tobacco. Havin Backstall, are you to conduct some business? If so, I welcome you to Metback Arms and Ammunition. If not, keep right on walking. Here to buy. Care to tell me about your inventory? We have weapons from all across Europe. Ares, Seska, Fischetti, you name it. It can be found on the continent, can be acquired by Metback Arms. Impressive setup. Let's do some business. I don't have nearly enough skill slash nuyen to actually use any of this stuff, so I'm just taking a look. So I just wanted to remember what was there. Anyone to talk to? Nope. Tip the dancer? I'll throw 5 nuyen in there. Talismonger's shop. David. Pair of round eyes peer up at you from under the hood of a grime-smeared winter coat. You recognize him as David, one of the Crow's Bazaar's street kids. If you had to guess, you'd place him as in mid-teens, though it's difficult to tell beneath the grime and acne marring his face. You've seen him following Monica around between runs, chasing her heels like a lost puppy. She always seemed to have a soft spot for the kid. Oh, hi, Whisper. Have you seen Monica around? Been looking all over for her. Afraid I have some bad news for you, kid. She's dead, isn't she? It was quick. She went peacefully. That's the most any of us can hope for. Yeah. Look, I think I want to be alone right now. I don't blame you. Cafe Chezev. What else is there? Hello. Phone booth. Phone's ringing. It's an old, obsolete phone booth. It's ringing. Pick up the receiver. A monotone, pitch-adjusted voice begins speaking almost immediately. The Schockwallenreiter's contract for this keys is no more. Whisper is listed as follow-up contact. This is our only secured line to this keys. Please listen to the following instructions carefully, if you are a supporter of our cause. Continue listening. We have phone booths in strategic locations throughout the city. Within each one, you may find a request posted for specific information. If you can obtain a copy of this information, return here and submit it via the port below the receiver. We will verify the authenticity of the information remotely, and post an undoctored copy of it into the Matrix ourselves. It is our stated goal for this information to remain free to all. However, you will be compensated for sought-after information returned to this location. The line goes silent. I'll keep an eye out. The line remains silent. Hang up the receiver. Bizarre monument towers before you. At the top of the pedestal, the form of an angel stands. Excuse me. Its outstretched wings looming over the small park. The material is strange and uneven, giving the statue a cold, Frankenstein-esque appearance. It appears that the artist has welded this monument together from various metal scraps and pieces of junk. As you approach, a small, grimy monitor at the base of the statue flickers dimly to life. The grainy face of a smug young orc appears on screen. Hello there. I'm Herbert Gunzel, the creator of this monument. What would you like to know? Press the 1 key, statue name. This is my tribute to victory, the victory of anarchy. It is both a citation and parody of the statue we destroyed some 20 years ago. You may remember it from the history trades. as the Sigswal, or Gold Else. Isn't it obvious? The Sigswal, a monument to the hubris of the Prussian state, gets blown to bits. So someone takes a lot of bits and builds a monument to the hubris of the anarchy. I mean, what more is there to say? Verse 3, about the artist. I am the visionary Herbert Kunzel from Lindwormer. You might know me from... Okay, well, there's not much I'm known for. Yet. But I intend to change that. All art is born from misery, after all. Step away from the statue. Thank you, Kunzel. Triage Cyberclinic. Dr. Xavier Esquivel. As you approach the elf, you notice that he's in mid-conversation. His lips move rapidly and his voice comes out in a low, quiet tone. The glossy plastic shell of a high-grade comlink glints on his wrist. Listening on his conversation. Doing your best to look uninterested, you lean in slightly and strain your ears. You find you can make out the doctor's end of the conversation. No, the price I'm quoting for you is more than fair. Well below market value, in fact. If you can't pay it, that's your problem. Yes, I know that the price has gone up. This is a seller's market. Well, then you'll just have to find the money or go without. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I have a patient. Presses the button on his comlink and looks up at you, a $1 million smile on his face. Sorry about the wait, my friend. Welcome to the Triage Cyberclinic. Extends a hand to you. I'm Dr. Xavier Esquivel, and your name is? Whisper. A pleasure. Pleased to meet you, Whisper. What can I do for you today? I need cyberware. Unfortunately, they don't have arms and hands as separate cyberware. I.e., I need more money before I can actually do anything. How much would it take? Exit. I forgot Dante's following me. You looking for some magic, mein Freund? If you got the cash, old Zach's got the flash. Zelf has clearly seen better days. His skin is weathered and emaciated, as though it's been stretched too tightly over his frame. Track marks line the crooks of his arms, and dirty bandages wrap his knuckles. Despite all this, he seems cheerful enough. The elf fixes his twinkling, bugged-out eyes on yours and offers you a broad smile, displaying a set of impossibly white teeth. When he speaks to you, his voice is surprisingly deep. Guten Tag, mein Freuden. You here for some magic? 'Cause Zach Flash, gestures to himself with a dramatic flourish, is your magic man. Magic? You a street mage? Street mage? Me? Do I look like a street mage to you? Shakes his head, but his smile doesn't waver. Fishes a small bag of pills out of his back pocket and dangles before your eyes. Nah, chummer, I'm not a street mage. I've got the magic in my blood and the magic in these bags. You won't catch old Zach studying any spellbooks. Well, in that case, let's talk about the magic you've got in that bag there. What you got? Oh, a little bit of everything. I've got your Zen and your Hyper, your Nitro and your Nova Coke. If you want it, I've got it. Zach leans towards you and lowers his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. I've even got a special concoction of my own design, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you're serious about getting high. So, you want to conduct a little business? Show me what you got. Combat stims. Drugs. For legal reasons, I do not condone the usage of medicinal substances for illegal reasons, or without prescription, but I do not have a problem with people consuming illicit substances. It's sort of a thing where it's just kind of like, you do you, I'll do me, we won't do each other, probably. Samuel Beckenbauer. At the sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you. He wears a severe expression, but there's kindness in his eyes. Ah, hello, human. As you can see, I'm in the middle of a conversation with my assistant. The volunteer worker holds her silence, but her expression is full of naked hostility. Samuel gives her a sidelong glance, and she seems to get the message. Fire in her eyes dies down to a low simmer. But we do not want to be impolite. Is there something I can do for you? Couldn't help overhearing your conversation. Take it you ran a charity of some sort? He nods. Yes, it isn't much, but we do what we can. Such as? Give specifics. Clears his throat, then begins to count off on his fingers. In the past several years, I've established a shelter where the dispossessed can sleep, a soup kitchen to feed the hungry, and a library for the people of the Kreuzbazaar to better themselves. It isn't much, I admit, but it's a start. A good start, Samuel. You mustn't be so hard on yourself. There are limits to what one man, even a determined man, can accomplish. This is true. Nods to the orc at his side. Thankfully, some of the residents I've helped over the years have come back around to help me. I've got 15 assorted orcs and trolls from all around the Kreuzbazaar working with me now. They help me man the soup line, stock the library shelves. And to do all of the hundreds of other little things that a community organization needs done every day. These extraordinary individuals are living proof that what we do here has value. They are my inspiration to continue forward. She beams at the compliment. From her body language, it's clear she idolizes Beckenbauer. Now, do you have any more questions? If not, I will bid you good day. I do not want to sound self-important or rude, but there are many pressing matters that demand my time. Are you accepting donations? Yes, of course. We're actually desperate for them, truth be told. People seem more intent on taking care of themselves than they are on providing for the less fortunate. Of course, these concepts are not unrelated. As poverty rates increase, so does the crime rate. Assisting the needy increases the quality of life for all. In any event, our shelter has some basic needs that desperately need to be filled. The walls of the shelter are not insulated, and new blankets would go a long way toward keeping our guests healthy and comfortable. Ideally, we'd like to purchase some space heaters as well. With 250 nuyen, we could make this purchase, of course. I do not expect you, a relative stranger to our cares, to contribute that much. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. Here, just take what you need. I've got you covered. Kima's eyes widen. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freuden. It's not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. This donation, we've reached our first goal. Thank you so much for your kind assistance. I will put your contribution to work stocking the shelter with blankets and heaters. Not a problem. Please do not downplay your contribution. You have shown kindness at a time when few others will. That means something. It means a great deal. Let's talk about something else. Very well. If you wish. What would you like to talk about? I'd like to talk about your organization. I'd like to talk about your organization's policies. You said that you worked with 15 assorted orcs and trolls. Does that mean that other races aren't welcome with here in your organization? That's a rather narrow view of what we do. Yes, it is true that my assistants are all members of the goblinoid races. It is also true that before they accepted my help, they were thieves, gangers, and deadbeats. This is not because they were bad people. This is because those of us with goblinoid traits are feared, mistreated, and denied gainful employment by a society that hates us. I hire only goblinoids because mainstream human society has created a need for me to hire only goblinoids. The orcs and trolls of the Crow's Bazaar deserve a workplace where they can be treated with dignity and respect. All that being said, our service is available to all. We wouldn't turn a desperate person away, regardless of that person's metatype. Even humans, the most privileged of all races, are welcome at our door. Isn't that what's most important? It is. I agree with what you're doing here. You're filling a vital need in the community. Thank you for saying so. Now, is there something else you'd like to talk about? No questions, I'm just passing by. Lane. Before he stands a troll, though it's a stretch to say he's standing at all. His great mass is barely held upright by two vintage prosthetic legs, along with a crutch under one arm. His body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite these disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. I know you. If you know Monica. Sure I know Monica. You one of hers then? There's something you should know about Monica. Something happened to her on the run. You know something about it? Just what my eyes and ears tell me. I had a feeling besides. Monica almost always comes around after a run to check on everybody. Just long overdue, and now here you are in her place. So she's either severely wounded or outright dead. Which is it? I'm afraid she's gone. The troll nods grimly. The servos in his prosthetics complain as he lets loose a heavy sigh. Now that is a shame. She was a hell of a runner, that one. And a good friend. I'm Whisper, by the way. Good to meet you, Whisper. Name's Alexi Lane. What do you do here, Mr. Lane? Ache and groan mostly. Try not to be a bother. I'll leave you be. The dwarvish tech vendor smiles at you with practiced ease, her almond eyes twinkling with the glare of a dozen tread screens. She speaks in a clipped, heavily accented German. I am not doing a German accent. Welcome to the Data Haven. Can I help you with something? I need some tech and I'm on a tight schedule. Show me what you got. I will get better. Yeah. I will get better cyberdecks for accessing the Matrix and for actions and stuff later on, but currently I only have what I have. Okay. Sorry, I just had to check a message. Right. I can spend karma. Special today is a caramel soy calf. Jan Goldschmidt. Hello, my friend. Fine day for a soy calf, yes? Every day is a fine day. From the back of the store, the voice of the shopkeep cuts you off. Don't mind the fool in the chair. He roars like a traumatized walrus, stewing all day in his own sweat. The man behind the bar glares at Goldschmidt, his upper lip curled in disgust. I tolerate him only because he takes his soy calf by the bucket. Goldschmidt responds with a raucous belly laugh. Apparently he finds the shopkeeper's insults to be hilarious. Ah, Altug, mein Frieden, you are as quick-witted and sharp-tongued as ever. I bow to you. Are you going to put... Once again, the shopkeep cuts in. To bow to me, you would have to first vacate your chair. Shopkeep claps his hands together, clasping them in front of his chest. I shall summon a team of determined young men and an ox to assist you with the task. With luck, you'll be on your feet by nightfall. Goldschmidt smiles up at you, his small eyes glittering. Enough of this senseless bickering. You've approached me for a reason, yes? Tell me, what can Jan Goldschmidt do for you? I want to go with the first option, but... Why did you put up with those insults? Don't you have any pride? I put up with them because they amuse me. The fact that they amuse me infuriates my dear friend Altug, who in turn hurls more insults. And thus the cycle continues. It is 2 years now that I've been your customer, yes, Altug? 2 years of soycraft and strained patience, yes. And I remain happy, and Altug makes money. An ideal business relationship. It all sounds perfectly healthy. Take care, Jan. Goldschmidt gives you a deep nod, his jowls quivering. Until next time, my friend. The man behind the counter looks right past you and at the dog following close behind. Dante, I will fetch his water dish. Perhaps a coffee for our friend here? Paul Amsel sends his regards. When he hears Amsel's name, the Turk's voice lowers and his accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. Ah, very good. Please express to Herr Amsel my appreciation of his patronage. If he needs any more catering jobs seen to in the future, I'm always happy to provide. He tells me you're developing the menu for a friend of his now. Herr Winters, I believe? I want to hear all about it. Yes, of course, a wise one. Come. A young woman bustles in from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear of the noise of the coffee grinders. Burgazi spits something out in the rapid-fire Turkish. That name's gonna trip me up every time. Kami, as you wish, uncle. I will see you through it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and hurries back into the room she came from. My girl Kami is arranging to make contact with the chef as we speak. This will likely take some time. My chef is a busy man. While we wait, I wonder if you would be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. I hate to trouble you. I'm embarrassed to even ask. But I would be most appreciative of your help. Of course, Herr Burgazi. No trouble at all. Altug's voice lowers to nearly a whisper. The errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I've installed a number of data taps to Berlin's fiber optic network. It's part of my civic duty, you understand. These taps provide free matrix access for all those who live in the Cross Bazaar. In order to maintain their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. Simply wish for you to visit each tap and reset it. That's it? No catch? There's no catch, I assure you. It's time-consuming and a bit tedious, nothing more. Just reset the taps and come back when you're finished. There should be 3 of them scattered around this neighborhood. The first one's just outside. Look for a muddled box with yellow arrows painted atop of it. By the time of your return, I should have the information Herr Amsel requested. Here we go. Just outside of triage. And one up here. As you're resetting the data tap, you notice that someone has duct taped a small homemade receiver to the system. An earplug dangles from the receiver. Put the earplug in your ear. The sound of heavy machinery makes it difficult to hear the words that are being spoken. After a moment, you can make out two distinct voices. A nasal woman who sounds like a heavy smoker, and a man who speaks in a high-pitched, breathy tone.
Just heard. Monica. Need you verified? Good for us.
Continue listening. It sounds like a conveyor belt starting adds to the noise of machinery, and you can't make out anything else until it comes to a stop a minute later.
Think our next step. Wait. Isn't ready to make a move yet. To be patient. See who steps up. Could be someone what.
Continue listening. More conveyor belts start up. All you can hear is the sound of machinery. Continue listening. Some sort of motorized vehicle starts up, drowning out everything else. The bell rings loudly again and again. It sounds like a telephone. You hear the sound of a door slamming shut, and the noise of machinery is suddenly muffled. There's a rattle of plastic, and the ringing stops.
Guten Tag, how may I help you?
Silence. Tone changes, becoming more businesslike.
I heard. Yes, he knows. I told him it wasn't time to make a move yet. Why do you think I am, an idiot? Council needs to meet again. I know, getting everyone in the same room is challenging. Getting them to agree on a course of action is going to be even more challenging. Chocolate? I remember when they first invented chocolate. From my perspective, the Kreuz Bazaar was the only stable because of her. She really is out of the way. Well, we'll see, won't we? Yeah, I know. What can I say? Things go slow in the flux sometimes.
You hear the sound of a door opening again. The cacophony of machinery fills the line. You can't make out anything more. Walk away. Well. That was interesting. Potentially worrying, but interesting nonetheless. Welcome, Honored Affindim. Welcome. How can Buragazi serve you today? Would you like a cup of coffee, perhaps? I finished with your little trifle, Herr Buragazi. Ah, very good. Assume you had no difficulties? Difficulties? No. One of the taps had been modified a bit, though. Someone was using it as a surveillance device. Of course they were. I wouldn't be surprised they weren't. This is Berlin, after all. In the flux, everyone spies. If you do not spy, how will you know who's in power and who will be in power next? If you are to stay here, Findim, you must get used to it. Who enters the Turkish bath will sweat, as my uncle Taydemer always says. Nevertheless, I shall have one of my people look into it. Wait, there's more. I listened in on the tap and heard something. Might be important. Oh ho, tell me, O listener at keyholes, what did you hear on the surveillance tap you found? Couldn't make out much. A nasal woman and a high-pitched man.
They seemed pleased Monica was out of the picture. News travels fast in Berlin. It was too unknown to me. Is there more? The woman got a call. She talked about a council meeting tonight to decide if they should make a move. Then she was drowned out by heavy machinery. Most excellent. It is indeed fortuitous that you discovered this information, though it is not unexpected. I will have one of my people attend this council meeting and report back. Sounds good. Keep me in the loop. With that out of the way, let us return to our pressing business. Barks a stream of rapid-fire Turkish, and the gum-chewing young woman comes hurrying out to the counter. The menu for Herr Amsel, uncle? Kami hands you a folded piece of paper. Inside is a memory stick. Please extend my consolations to him. The death of Fräulein Schaefer must have hit him hard. Burkazi gives Kami a small nod, and she hurries out of the room. When she's gone, he returns his attention to you. Please express my condolences as well. I only just heard the news. Monica was very important in this community. Few knew how important. The memory stick Kami just handed you should contain all the information Herr Amsel requires from our chef in the field. Should you require my services in the future, you know where to find me. Until then, good day. Danke schön. Yep, hello. What time is it? Alright, I'm gonna go through this conversation, and then I'm probably gonna have to call it, because I'm reaching the end of my, my talk time, my scheduled time. I've got nothing more to say, boss. Let's get this run taken care of. You can hit me up again later if you want to talk. This isn't the best of times. Come back later if you want to talk. Glory's gonna be the same. Amsel. Whisper? Did you get the information about Green Winters? Yes, I spoke to Altog. He gave me this memory stick. Let's see what his agent has to say. He snatches the memory stick from your hand and slots it into his computer terminal. Navigates a series of command line menus and a wall of amber text that floats the screen. Imbecile scans it, mousing the words as his eyes flit back and forth. Burkazi's agent tailed Green Winters to a hotel in the cesspool of a Kiev called Dragonkeep. The hotel is called Das Kesselhaus. It is a renovated factory nestled deep in the heart of Dragonkeep. It appears that Winters is holed up there. Recently, there was some contention between two gangs over control of this neighborhood. Due to the gang's violence, the agent refused to follow Winters inside of the hotel, but he confirms that he's still inside. Well, what are we waiting for? Iger slings a rifle over his shoulder with a single spare motion. Gear, people, we have a hotel to raid. Gloria and Dietrich pause, exchange looks with Paul. Just a moment, Iger. Amsel rises from his chair, drawing himself to full height. Even so, he has to crane his neck to look her in the eye. You are an excellent soldier, and nobody questions your competence in the field. Your loyalty to this team is equally commendable. That said, we believe that Whisper is the right choice to lead this team. There's a long pause before Iger speaks. When she does, her voice comes out dull and flat. What? Don't mistake this decision for a reprimand. Monica considered your contributions to the team to be invaluable. We all know that she wasn't comfortable putting a soldier in charge. This is unbelievable. You want to put the rookie in charge. Again. You people learn from your mistakes? Whisper's the reason we're still alive, Iger. She kept us together. She let us out of there in one piece. Making her your number one girl.
This is more of your flux state idiocy at work, isn't it? It's what Monica believed in. Yeah, look where that got her. Let me give you a piece of advice. In the field, only two things matter: the mission and survival. Everything else is a distraction. Your ridiculous politics have no place but a Shadowrun. Dietrich manages to smile. What can I say? We're German. We have a history of strong political views. Screw it, let's put an end to this. Got the skill and experience to lead this team. Whisper, on the other hand, was appointed by Monica as a joke. If you'd rather she take the lead, I'll abide by that, but I want to hear each of you say it. I've no quarrel with you, Iger. I'll do as the group wishes. You stay out of this. The moment that she raises her hand to you, Dante's ears lay back and he lets out a low growl. Reflexively, she takes a half step back. I think we've heard what Dante has to say. As for my part, Whisper saved our lives back there. I may not believe it, but she did. The way I see it, that means I follow her lead a while longer. I trust in Monica's judgment. Therefore, I trust in Whisper's judgment. Discussion is finished, Iger. Amsel speaks softly, but his tone is firm. Whisper will take Monica's place as the leader of this team. I'll do whatever it takes to keep this team and Monica's legacy alive. That includes taking your advice, Iger. Iger gives a small nod. That's big of you. She looks from Dietrich to Glory to Amsel, finally down at Dante, then she sighs. I don't agree with this decision, but I will respect it. Whisper takes the lead then. Conversation closed. It's time to move on. You need to focus on chasing down Green Winters. Indeed. I have transferred the information that we've received from Altok to the computer terminal in the next room. It used to be Monica's personal workstation, Whisper. Now it's yours. Monica kept a variety of notes and dossiers on that machine. I would suggest reviewing her notes when you have the time. Amsel turns his attention away from you and back to his computer screen. Good hunting. I will eagerly await your return. I wouldn't suggest driving to Dragonfall. The roads aren't safe. Taking the U-Bahn would be faster anyway. Thanks for the tip, Iger. U-Bahn it is. Iger nods, then turns to check her equipment. The rest of the group disperses in turn. You now command a team of Shadowrunners. When traveling to new mission locations, you will be able to choose which members of your team to bring and modify their loadout for the run. When members of your team become permanently incapacitated on a mission, they will be automatically extracted for emergency medical care. They will be patched up and ready for action the next time you return to your safe house. Avoid this loss of firepower by always carrying some Gunoma trauma kits into the field. These can be purchased at the Street Doc's office in the Kois Bazaar. Your workstation and mission computer, the command center for your team's operations, and your last link to the memory of Monica Schaefer. Her thoughts and words live on in the machine. At times, it's easy to forget that she's gone. Zero unread messages. No new unread messages. Read your old messages. Response. Hello, Ace. Screen flickers to life and Monica's face appears. Her hands are on her hips and she's wearing a wry smile. Hey, Ace. If you're reading this, it means that I've either died or stepped down. Hopefully the latter, but probably the former. Not many Shadowrunners make it to retirement age. In any case, I'm sure you'll do a fine job in the role. If you need anything, talk to Paul. He's a good man, and he knows how important it is to me that you take my place. One last thing, Ace. Iger might cause you some problems. In fact, I think it's a fair bet she already has. Just remember, she brings something to this team that nobody else does. You'll want her on your side. My advice to you is this. Hold your own with her. She pushes you, push back. Don't try to butter her up with flattery. She'll see right through it. Most of all, do what you can to earn her respect. She'll never be satisfied following you if you don't give her a better reason to than because Monica said so. I have faith in you, Ace. It's up to you to justify that faith. She half turns away from the camera, then returns her attention to you. The image is uncannily lifelike. Oh, and by the way, Ace, if you botch this, I'm coming back and haunting your ass. I mean that. The message ends, and the image fades. You find yourself back at the inbox. Go back. Jobs directory. View all pending and active jobs. Back to root. Access the Shadowland DBS. Shadowland connection established successfully. Welcome to Shadowland. Search, post pay data for sale. Post the Antiquities delivery schedule. Posting successful. Posting will remain active for 2 days. Thread. Killer in Seattle. Anyone else reading about this? City's got a Lone Star contract and they can't catch the guy. This Emerald City Ripper's been on a spree and so far no one has a clue. Pathetic. Something like happened on my block, some vigilantes would have tracked him down and stopped him. Shows you how good state payroll cops are. Maelstrom. Who says it's a he? They don't have any leads. Tolstoy. Ha, I'll be in Seattle next week. Forward any info you have about this Ripper, and I'll see about taking out for a date with my Walther MA 2100. I'm sure Lone Star will have a fat reward waiting for whoever blasts this goon. Pro shot. No more posts in this thread. Thread. Who's Blutz? I think that's the name. I'm still recovering the logs. This hot dogger just trashed my land trade hosting server. Sounds like some kid got pissed over his cartoons getting cancelled. Left a bunch of garbage files all over my disks and I'll be cleaning them up all day. They should make you pass a dumbass test before you're allowed to deck in this town. Lumens. Step up your security. Write some white IC programs if you can. Please make the kid's hair stand on end for a few hours next time he tries it. Tolstoy. Just make sure that your IC is quick. Heavy-hitting IC is no good if it can't catch up with an intruder. In fact, I take advantage of on a regular basis. Clockwork. Always running, eh, Clockwork? The smiling bandit strikes again. Ha ha ha. Like clockwork. If you two are finished, I did have IC on the thing. Tracked the whole down. Grocery store across the street was piggybacking on my land, and they left an unsecured jack point in a bathroom stall. Old as hell maintenance jack in a fuse box, and my security ignored it. Mystery solved. Lumens. Shadowland isn't your personal tech support board, Lumens. Glad to see you fixed your own problem. Only way you're gonna learn. Maelstrom. Access Monica's team personnel files. Watch Monica's entry on Amsel. Image of Monica appears on the screen. Paul, a talented and well-connected fixer, with contracts all over Berlin. He's more to me than that, of course. That's neither here nor there. Dietrich, one of my dearest friends and a shaman of tremendous power. Good man to have at your side in a fight. Tend to use Dietrich in a support role. His magic can dramatically bolster the combat effectiveness of a frontline fighter like Iger or Glory. But when the chips are down, he's more than capable of dishing out punishment on his own. Can't think of much else to say about Dietrich. Just a good, reliable guy. He's getting a little long in the tooth for a Shadowrunner. Not sure how many more years he has ahead of him in the game, but I'll be happy to run with him as long as he's able. We'll see, I suppose. Glory, our damaged enigma. I've known her for almost 5 years now, but I don't think I will ever really know her. Somehow I doubt that anyone will. On an operational level, Glory's solid. That chrome of hers may be old, but it gets the job done. I've seen her take a troll apart with her hand razors. When her adrenal pump is running, she moves faster than anyone I've ever seen. On top of that, Glory's a competent field medic. I don't know where she learned medicine. Yet another question mark. She's patched me up at least a dozen times. Between her skill with the medkit and Dietrich's magic, we haven't had much trouble with serious injuries. In our line of work, that's a luxury. That's really all I know about Glory. She keeps to herself, barely talks, and spends most of her off time staring at nothing. I've seen this kind of behavior, of course. Something bad happened in her past. Deep down, I think she's still running from it, and I'm sure their cyberware ties into it somehow. I don't know. Maybe someday she'll open up to me. I like to think that she will. We'll see, I suppose. Iger. What's to say about Iger? She's smart, she's strong, and she's one hell of a soldier. In close-up fight, I've seen her take apart an entire security team with a shotgun. And she's even more dangerous at range. It's a handy thing having a trained sniper on the team. Sorry. All in all, we enjoy one hell of an advantage thanks to her. Unfortunately, there are some disadvantages too. All that military training has left her, how to say it, rigid, I suppose. Unlike the others, Iger isn't content to go with the flow. She wants lists and maps and timetables, she wants a hierarchy, and she wants it formalized. I don't think that she realizes it, but giving her what she wants would destroy this team. Glory and Dietrich wouldn't put up with it for more than a day or two. I know that I wouldn't, but she keeps on pushing all the same. One of these days, that situation is going to come to a head. I just hope it doesn't happen soon. Well, it's happened. Whisper, my secret weapon. I've run enough with Whisper to know that she's trustworthy. Good in a fight, too. Beyond all that, it's just good to see her again. There aren't many people left from the good old days. Far too few. And Whisper? Well, she was always the best of them. God, that was sappy. Mental note, re-record this before Whisper gets a chance to see it. At any rate, if anything happens to me, it's good to know she'll be on hand to fill my shoes. It's not what Iger would want, but it is what would be best for the team. Alright, so. What a way to be introduced to the Flux State, eh? There's not really much commentary I can make on this, apart from just sort of commenting on tactical decisions and commenting on people and sort of just making momentary situational jokes. But this is... I really love this game for just how solid of an RPG it is, and I hope that anyone who's watching this enjoys it, and I am gonna wrap this up about here. This is this has been Shadowrun Dragonfall. I'm going to be recording again on Monday, about 1 to about 3:30 kind of thing. So join me again for that, and I will see you all next time.